Hello dear learner, welcome back to the Zoom Chemistry Hub. Today in this video we will discuss and learn what is limiting reactant or how can we find the limiting reactant in a chemical reactions. So for calculating or for finding the limiting reactant we must know the two things. First, the formula for calculating the limiting reactant are limiting reactant is equal to the number of moles of reactant divided by the coefficient of the reactant in a balanced chemical equation. So second, we have a balanced chemical equation. For example, if we have a reaction, that is calcium react with carbon dioxide, they form calcium carbonate, and in this calcium carbonate we have to balance the chemical equation first for calculating the limiting reactant. So now we take the examples calculating the limiting reactant. We have two chemical reactions. First reaction is when calcium react with carbon dioxide, they form calcium carbonate, and in the second reaction nitrogen react with hydrogen, they form the ammonia gas. First we will take the first reaction. That in the first reaction the number of moles of calcium and carbon dioxide are different. That is, the number of moles of calcium is 1.8 and the number of moles of carbon dioxide is 2.1, and here the coefficient are equal. And in the second reactions the number of moles are equal but the coefficient are different. So these values keep in our mind for solving or for calculating the limiting reactant. We can see that the number of moles of calcium is 1.8 and the number of moles of carbon dioxide are 2.1, and we know that when the coefficient are equal, then the limiting reactant are those which have less number of moles. So here we can see the number of moles of calcium are 1.8 and the number of moles of carbon dioxide are 2.1. So here the limiting reactant is calcium. So we can calculate by these number of moles, that is 1.8 divided by their coefficient, we get 1.8 the number of moles. Similarly, for calculating the number of moles of carbon dioxide, that will be 2.1. So here the limiting reactant are calcium metal, which control the product formation. Next we take the second example, and in this example or in this chemical reaction we can see that the number of moles are equal but the coefficient for when we balance the chemical equation, then we get the coefficient of both the reactant are unequal. That is, the coefficient with nitrogen is 1 and the coefficient with hydrogen is 3. Now we calculating the limiting reactant by their coefficient. So first we calculate the limiting reactant of nitrogen, that is 3.6. For nitrogen we can calculate 3.6 divided by the number of coefficient, which is 1. So we get here the 3.6 are the limiting reactant for the nitrogen. We can, and here the value for hydrogen, that is 3.6 divided by 3, we get 1.2. so here the value of limiting reactant is 1.2 and here the value are 3.6. so the less number of moles are responsible for limiting reactant. So here the hydrogen molecule or hydrogen is the limiting reactant in this reaction, which controls the formation of the product of ammonia. That's for all today, the learner. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends and fellows. Thanks for watching.